What's up, guys? This is Alec with Wachtman Knife and Tool. I'm the guy that makes all the knives you see on Instagram every day. So today we're gonna be walking through some of the steps that we use to create our signature series Eddy 2. So let's get started. The first step is gonna be heat treating. We like to grind some of our knives after they've been hardened, but that's a long story. After heat treating comes grinding. For this step, I'll be using a 10-inch serrated contact wheel with a 120 grit ceramic belt. More on that later. It's on to handles. For the handles, I'll be picking from my massive collection of hardwood, non-ferrous metals, fiberglass composites, and resins. After that, it's on to Kydex. For the sheath, we'll be hanging out here in the Kydex corner, where Maylee, who's out getting Chipotle right now, will show us how to make an Eddy 2 sheath, worthy of the signature series line. For finishing, we'll be blasting,
my gun, I started blasting,
tumbling, and using other chemical agents to get that signature series look. Hi-ya! After that, it's on to sharpening, where we'll make an edge so sharp, you'll be able to slice your Nana's produce from halfway across the country. There's someone here, I think they have food. Hi, Grandma.
Hey, kiddos, I got some snacks.
That's cool. This is my grandma.
Hey, honey. Nice to meet you.
She's Asian.
Did you guys vote today? Like the good citizens you are. Here, I need to find
food.
Okay.
So the first thing we have to do is select our blank. I want this one! So the first step after picking our blank, as with most of our signature series Eddies, we start by heat treating. This Eddy 2 will be ground entirely in post, and we do that for a couple of reasons. When you're going to harden a blade, if you're hardening it after it's ground, the blade will have a certain cross section. So you'll have the flat, and then you'll have this ground area that makes sort of a V shape. As that tapers, you have less and less and less material towards the edge. When that's heated up to hardening temperature, there's a process called decarburization that occurs, where the very edge will start to lose carbon. Carbon is what allows most blades to hold their edge unless you're using a non-ferrous metal. So for this Eddy 2, we'll be grinding entirely in post. So this whole cross section will get hardened to the same hardness, and it will have the same amount of carbon loss along the entire edge, which will amount to really nothing because we're grinding most of the decarb steel away. Now that the blade has been hardened, I'll be grinding the bevels using the contact wheel I mentioned earlier. When grinding a blade after heat treating, it's important to remember, heat is your enemy. You'll want to keep the blade cool and quench repeatedly during the grinding process. It might take a bit longer, but it'll yield a far better blade as a result. Now that we've ground our blade, it's time to pick a handle. So I have here a myriad of different material. Here in my hand, I've got micarta, G10, and some, I think this is spalted maple. Now, out of the three, I'm gonna pick G10 because, you know, it's purple, it doesn't hold moisture, it holds up great in harsh conditions, and man, it's gonna look cool on here. So let's get grinding.
name's Maylee, I'm the Kydex queen, and now that Alec's done all the work on this handle, it's time to put a sheath on the knife. Now we're gonna put this piece of Kydex into the toaster oven. While it's cooking, we're gonna tape this knife up so that there are no scratches on the blade itself. Kydex is hot, it's time to press. Okay, sheath is done.
Thank you, Maylee. After the sheath, it's time for finishing. Now, for the finishing step, I've chosen a very simple acid stonewash. This is a two-step process, including a ferric chloride etch, followed by a stonewash in our vibratory tumbler. The stonewash will give it that speckled look after the clean gray from the ferric chloride. After finishing, it's time for a final edge. Let's go! And just like that, a finished Signature Series Eddy 2 clad in purple G10 and an acid stonewash, coupled with a fantastic Kydex sheath made by Maylee, the Kydex queen. If any of you guys are interested in purchasing the knife seen here, it will be available on my website at wachtmanknifeandtool.com as soon as this video airs. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and we look forward to seeing you soon.